Alright, hello guys. Today we're going to be talking about how to build a tower and basically just how to build a good tower on Tower Creator or Obby Creator, whatever you use to build a tower. And yes, I know how bad my microphone is. I use my phone to edit all my videos, and I basically have a horrible microphone on my phone. So if you guys hear a bunch of noise from the background, then don't worry about that. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get a new mic, but it's gonna be a while, so thanks. How to build good gameplay. So a few things about gameplay is you don't want to spam a lot of climbing parts and a lot tight ropes, because tight ropes aren't really that enjoyable because they're pretty much a 50-50 chance of if you're gonna fall or not. So try not to put any tight ropes when you're building a tower, and if you do put tight ropes, make sure to make them a little bit thick, maybe 1 stud or 1.5 studs. That's what I like to do. And also, when you're building your tower, try not to put too many wraparounds or too many walkarounds or anything like that has like an increasing difficulty or a difficulty spike in the middle of the tower, because that's kind of annoying. And if your tower is easy, you don't want it to difficulty spike to nil or anything at like the middle of the tower. So yeah, try not to put a lot of difficulty spikes or hard wraparounds in your tower. And to learn the correct definitions of a tower, a citadel, a obelisk, or a mini tower, or a neat, you have to basically study them to actually understand every single definition of each thing. So basically, I'm just gonna go over a few. A tower has 10 floors normally. A citadel has normally 20 floors or above. A obelisk is basically 30 floors or above. And a neat is 1 floor. A mini tower is basically just a tower inside of a tower, or 2 floors, or however many floors you want to put inside of a mini tower. So a mini tower is just a tiny little square of a tower. Basically, it's just a tinier frame of a tower. Also, do not take too much stuff from me, because I'm not that good at this game. Try to take some stuff from Nolicity. He's way better than me. So if you want to take anything from anybody, then I would try to take it from Nolicity, or somebody better than me at least, because I'm not really that good at this game. Also, when you're building decoration for your tower, try to make it at least noticeable decoration. Maybe some non-collidable stems coming up from a different part. Toast is a perfect example in my opinion, because as you guys just saw, there's cool stems coming up from the different blocks and the ground and stuff of the safety net. So if you want to build decoration, at least try to do that. And maybe if you're a good decorator, try to add more stuff and maybe some cool outlines on the blocks. And try not to build anything too hard if it's a super long citadel or an obelisk, because that's just unfair, because they're so long, and in my opinion, the gameplay is kind of not the whole point of a citadel and an obelisk. The whole point is to be long, and not the gameplay is supposed to be super hard or super cool and stuff. So if you're building a citadel, you can build a lot of filler gameplay, but if you're building a 10-floor tower, then don't build filler gameplay. And if you're building a neat, you can realistically make it whatever difficulty you want, because it's a neat. It's not really supposed to count as a tower, and neats inside of Eternal Towers of Hell don't really count as any tower points at all, so you can realistically make your neat whatever you want. And when you're verifying your tower, and you don't want to verify the whole thing because it's kind of above your skill level, at least try to all jump it, or maybe try to verify each and every single jump when you're building the tower, maybe, because that will still mean it's verified, and maybe somebody later on will try to verify your tower. And also, I forgot to mention, if you're building a room, try not to make the room super hard. Rooms are normally little parts inside of towers that are basically safety netted, and they're basically just a mini tower inside of a tower. Some differ in size, some are entire floors, but rooms are basically just little small boxes that just have some gameplay in them. So if you're building a room, try to make it kind of easy, because rooms aren't supposed to be hard at all. They're supposed to be really easy and something that you can do easy. But if you want to make a hard room, at least try to warn people before they go into the room. And if you're making Wiggle Core gameplay, try not to make it super unfair, because Wiggle gameplay is very hard for some people. So if you're not building like a next top 1 tower or an entire like Wiggle tower, try to not make it entirely Wiggle Core. Try to make some jumps that aren't entirely Wiggle, because Wiggle jumps are kind of annoying sometimes when you put them in towers, and that's why Wiggle should be in the name of the tower. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. See you guys later.